For over a quarter of a century, the best paintball teams in the world have gathered in Orlando, Florida at the end of the year to answer a simple question through a hard test. Who is the best on the biggest stage at the last event of the season? Over the years, the World Cup has been the scene of gunfight magic, a place of battle where skills earned through hard work, applied in the biggest of moments, has forged talented names into legend. But this year, the COVID pandemic has deferred dreams, stopped stories, and the entire sport at its highest level was put on hold. With only one NXL event in the books, the middle of the season became the longest offseason that we have ever had. But the brakes are now off. World Cup 2020 is just on the horizon, and the 4-day battle to see who is the world's best paintball team is almost here. Who will emerge as the champion? November 12th through the 15th. Tune in to GoSports.com to watch the story unfold and see which team will be crowned.
Best team in the world. Now let's take it to fucking damn ball.
Focusing on action sports, GoSports is a subscription-based online service where you can watch live broadcasts in addition to documentary content for only $9.99 a month. GoSports captures the intense moments found only during the battle on the field, in the cage, and on the mat, and broadcasts them into the world where they can live magnified. Merging cutting-edge multimedia technology with a focus on narrative storytelling, GoSports.com brings you into the world and lives of the competitors as they chase their defining moments. So sign up now and go watch all these magnified moments on GoSports.com. Baltimore Revo has only missed one Sunday cut in the past 2 years, and they have proven themselves good enough to become a top 4 team 3 times during their recent run up the ranks, but they have yet to make it to the finals, and the last time they missed a cut was at a World Cup in 2018. The last event in Vegas saw them crack the top 4 again, as they lost to the eventual winners LA Ironmen in the semifinals. But Baltimore Revo will be without 2 of their most potent offensive threats in Orlando, as Matt Derula and Max Traylor will not be able to make the trip south. They will still have enough firepower on the field to be highly competitive, with Josh Pike, Frank Antetomaso, Eddie Painter, Henry Sentz, Mike Zupa, Jack Walchesson, and Stephen O'Mara ready to go. Though they only have 7 bodies for the grinder of World Cup, all those players are highly capable of getting the team deep into the tournament, and maybe, if everything goes their way, finally pull off a win at the biggest event of the year. Since blasting into the NXL in 2012, Houston Heat has been on a rampage, taking home the first place trophy 9 times. Always rightfully considered one of the world's best teams, their roster is filled with experienced veterans, and their list reads like an all-star team. Ryan Moorhead, Ronnie Dizon, Chad George, Nico Hyde, Devin Stewart, Chad Boucher, Ryan Smith, San Monville, and Mishka Kiesnev all have attacking mentalities, and the team does not like to play slow paintball. The past 2 years, the World Cup has been their brutal playground, and they have won the biggest event of the year 2 consecutive times in dramatic fashion. Though they will be missing one of the league's best players in Konstantin Fedorov, Heat very well could storm into Orlando and make history by winning their 3rd World Cup in a row. After being starved of a win for over 10 years and going through yet another rebuild in the offseason, the Los Angeles Ironmen were able to go undefeated on Sunday in Las Vegas, taking down X-Factor Revo and the Russians en route to the redemption of a first-place finish. Though the Ironmen won the only event in 2020, they still will have their work cut out for them at World Cup. They'll be missing their MVP, Alex Rodriguez, who has moved over to play with Edmonton Impact. They'll also be without the guidance of their coach, Todd Martinez, and one of their core attackers, Thomas Kim, hasn't been able to make the trip east. But they still have offensive weapons in young Peyton Tabata, LJ Parrish, Silos Cortez, and Corey Hall, with Nick Sloviak and Dan Norcross backing them up and finishing off points. They will be underdogs again, but they can't be counted out at the 2020 NXL World Cup. AC Dallas has become one of paintball's most consistent performers, always making it to Sunday and going deep at every event. They have made it to the finals 4 times since going pro in 2015, and though they've been close, they have yet to win an event. Homegrown Texas talent leads the way for AC, and though they will be missing TJ Danner, who is still dealing with a knee injury, they will still have consistent game finisher John Jackson, Golden Barrel Award winner Matt Jackson, who is one of the best players in the game, the always aggressive Ryan Hall, who will be playing with a broken finger, standout rookie Logan Dyer, Snakeside weapon BJ Henningberg. They also picked up Zach Hill, who will help give them another offensive threat. Even though they're down one of their best players, AC still could pull off the long-awaited victory at the 2020 NXL World Cup.
We are here at the most important day of the year, 2020 NXL World Cup Sunday competition. We are in the wild card round in the professional division. The first set, Revo taking on Houston Heat, and the Los Angeles Ironmen taking on AC Dallas. I'm sure our defending champs, Houston Heat, 2 years in a row, didn't want to have to fight out of the wild card round again, but they did it in 2018, and they made it all the way to the finals, and they took that victory. So, also in the quarterfinals, AC Diesel going to be taking on Tampa Bay Damage, San Antonio X-Factor taking on the Russians, and then Dynasty will be playing the winner of Revo or Heat, and then Impact is going to be playing the winner of the Los Angeles Ironmen AC Dallas match. So we've had an amazing 3 days of prelims to get here, some upsets, and a lot of interesting stories. Rich, let's start with the Revo and the Houston Heat match. So Revo playing really well, missing 3 of their key members. They don't have Dan Zaleski, they don't have Max Turley, and they don't have Matt Jarula. But the lineup that they brought has been playing this field really well. Houston Heat's been getting off to slow starts. They had 3 come from behind victories, and they did take a loss. That's even though they did go 3-1, why they're down in that wild card round. Los Angeles Ironmen, they got blown out in their first game by AC Diesel. Mercy Rule lost, but came back with 3 solid wins to make it to Sunday. And then AC Dallas lost to their brother team, AC Diesel, and struggled a bit trying to find their form. But they, again, here on Sunday, no surprise there. So what do you think about this Revo Heat match, Rich?
I think it's going to be an interesting match. They both play the field pretty fast and pretty loose. They both are kind of freestyling out there, scrambling a little bit. Obviously, I think Heat has a little bit of an advantage. But honestly, I'm kind of surprised to see Heat here in the wild card. After their first matches, they looked so good. I mean, and they did stumble in a couple of matches and start off a little bit slow, but I'm surprised to see them here in the wild card division for sure.
I think, yeah, on paper, you got to give this one to Heat. They are the returning champs. Again, 2 years in a row. They've won every year in dramatic fashion, and their starting lineup is playing pretty well. A few hitches, but they're just all offense. They've been pushing forward. They're going to go with Mishka here on that D side. There's Ronnie Dizon. He'll be attacking over there as well, too. And then Ryan Moorhead. He's kind of been all over the place.
He gets around.
Yeah, he does get around. And then you should be finding Chad George coming out, and looks like Sam Monville also going to be getting the start here on Sunday. But they've been getting spins for their entire roster. The only person that they're missing is Konstantin Fedorov. Now, that's a big hit. He's a superstar. He's one of the best players in the world, former MVP for them here at World Cup. But this roster very easily could perform without him, and it would not surprise anybody if they made paintball history and won 3 World Cups in a row. But they got to get through a scrappy Baltimore Revo squad first, who also has some studs out there playing really, really well. I like what Zupa's doing over here on the Snake side. I think Stephen O'Mara is still underrated somehow, some way after all these years of slaughtering people for Revo. Henry Sense has had some solid points out there. They picked up Tom Guest, and he's playing in a McKenna jersey, but yeah, they picked him up last week, and with all the stuff going on with Corona, it just is what it is, man. You try to get who you can, and Tom, former Aftermath player when they took 3rd in Vegas. So yeah, Revo could definitely beat Heat. We'll see though. I think the question is Heat going to get off to a slower start? Yeah,
that would hurt Heat if they ghost up the first couple points like they were doing yesterday. It's going to be challenging to come back from Revo if they get that momentum going on their side. It's going to be interesting to see, too, Maddie. We've been talking about this all weekend. Is the Sunday play going to be different than we've seen on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday? Obviously it's going to slow down a little bit, probably become a little bit more technical. Everyone's got another chance to go back and study the film, see what they did well, see what they messed up on. But are they going to keep attacking, or are they going to slow it down? Are they going to start going down the drill side? We're going to lock the snake down? A lot of questions to be answered.
Always the question, but we definitely saw yesterday afternoon that even though some points did slow down a bit, offense works on this field, and you have to have that offensive mindset. First to drop is going to be San Monville coming off from that Snake side, and then very quickly Frank Antetomaso, also an Aftermath player before, but been picked up to be the bowling ball on the D side of the field, and he might have got clipped out of there, so made it in a good position. They got caught on a sloppy wrap.
Yeah, gotta live. Chad George filling out to the Snake corner for Houston Heat there. They saw him go out though. Zupa there in the 50 Snake. 4-on-4 here. Little advantage for Revo, seeing that they've got that powerful 50 Snake bunker. If he looks across the field, he can catch Mishka over there in that little temple on the Dorito side.
Yeah, good communication right now for Revo. It's 4-on-4 situation. Mike Zupa, actually, he let me know that he wanted to just be referred to as Zupa.
The Zupa, I think it's
if you have a last name like Zupa, why not just go and be that one-name person? It's a pretty awesome last name. But yeah, he's been playing great for them, and he's just been just all offense over here on the Snake side, and he's at the 50-yard line and wrapping around. You can see Chad George, not the ideal spot for Chad George, back corner bunker.
Yeah, but he's smart to fill out there, because by filling out there, he can keep that Snake, he can keep Zupa from wrapping.
Absolutely. My point was that if Chad George is stuck in a back bunker, the point's probably not going well for Heat.
Yeah.
So they're going to have to fight back here from on their heels, and they're going to be losing Ronnie Dizon. And the push now is looks like O'Mara's going to get in, but another crossfield shot. So they're chopping the bodies up for Revo as they're pushing forward from that D side, even though Revo also getting some kills themselves. O'Mara with a little tactical retreat when he sees that ball. That was a good read, because somebody needs to get over on that D side. So maybe Guest might be able to get over, but he's just been pumping paint in front of Zupa.
Yeah, he's keeping Chad George in that corner, because nobody wants Chad George in the Snake if you're playing against him.
He's just literally dumped 6 pods towards Chad George to try to keep him contained in that back corner.
What you should have told Zupa is if you want your name just to be Zupa, then you got to earn that. We'll call you Z if you play well enough.
There's Mishka, so Mishka's still alive, and Mishka's turned the tables over there because of those 2 kills.
Now, no one's on Chad George, though, and that's not good for Baltimore Revo. If you want to win this game, you better keep a gun on Chad George.
Yeah, but I think might be 3-on-2 here, so I don't see, do we see any other heat bodies? Because Chad George definitely in the back corner bunker, and
Chad George limited.
So Chad George taken out, and they get Mishka too, so Revo.
Good first point,
the first
but
one.
We've seen this before from Heat, saucering up those first few points, building up the confidence of the other guys, and then dropping the hammer.
I think, yeah, Heat's gotten a slow start to every one of their games.
Wakey, wakey, boys.
Yeah, I think at least 3 of the matches they dropped the first point.
At
I'd
least.
have to, don't quote me on that, but it's around there.
Well, including this one, it's 4.
Yeah, so, but they seem to charge back, so.
Yeah, you're not going to get in
So the
their
game
heads.
plan's going as it's supposed to be.
Just like they planned it. Okay, that doesn't work. Check.
Okay, we're going to lull them into a false sense of
security,
confidence.
And then we're coming. Next point here, AC Dallas, LA Ironmen. First look between these 2 teams.
So with AC Dallas missing TJ Danner, Ryan Hall's been amazing for them this weekend. Zach Hill, new pickup coming over and from Aftermath, and he's also been playing amazing for him, and he draws the start today. So Los Angeles Ironman, scrappy performance, also missing a ton of bodies. No Thomas Kim, there goes the first body drop. Ooh, big kill for him. It's Ryan Hall coming off. So the Ironman looking good here, 5 bodies alive, but it looks like they are going to be losing Corey Hall from that D side. Parrish still alive over there.
BJ attack the center side.
And then here comes Silos Cortez. Silos Cortez, he had a great prelims. Oh, but BJ eats him up in there. So, but BJ gets clipped though.
Nick Sloviak shoots BJ, counterpunch, counterpunch.
Yeah, so 2 bodies now have come off for both squads. It's a 3-on-3. They're going to, this is why we call it the scramble. They're going to start scrambling to try to get into better position, which is going to be the first team to get that read and react.
Yeah, that little snake player for the Ironmen, Nick Sloviak, is in the position to start moving over this way to the snake. But as we talked about it with you yesterday, like he doesn't want to pick that little nipple in the snake. He has to go over there and gunfight. Big body for small bunkers. And nobody wants to lose this first point. That's why you're seeing everyone really slowly, methodically figuring out where the bodies are at, where the bodies are shooting. AC Dallas is really good at crossing up bodies. Ironman playing a little bit more aggressive there with Nick moving forward down the snake side. Looks like LJ Parrish over there on the Dorito side. The brothers Jackson crossed up in the bat stand-up tower for AC Dallas. They also have 1 player in the Dorito 2.
Yeah, so Nick did bump over a little bit here towards the snake side. There's Tabata, Parrish, Tabata at the brick. Young rookie this year.
Tabata's playing defense, trying to keep AC Dallas from tacking on the Dorito side. Although AC Dallas is not set up to attack. They're set up to catch Nick trying to fill the snake. They've got 2 guns Nick's way, both watching the gaps. Nick is trying to wrap and see if he's got an opportunity to get in there.
Where's the other body for AC? So, he's in the Dorito.
Snake can. Snake can, Dorito 1.
Yeah, no, well, on our screen right now, you can see 2. The 3rd body is in D2. He's blocked out from that can.
Yeah, he's
for
watching
everyone
that gap we talked about yesterday, Matt.
Yeah, so but I was just
snake.
double checking. It was a 3-on-3. Yeah. So pretty equal here on the positions. A little bit better with Tabata up in that brick. And there goes John Jackson. He's going to scurry out wide to help out Zach Hill.
And this is already, even though it's a 3-on-3, I think this is already one of our longer points. Tabata's already out of paint there in the middle.
Yeah, down to 12:45 on the clock. Matt Jackson with 2 pods left. Nick Sloviak got a couple pods on his back as he gets into the snake.
Speed Demon, Nick Sloviak filling the snake now.
But yeah, you're right. Tabata has no paint, and it looks like Parrish also might be out of paint too. And when you get a long point, guys go through their packs.
Yeah.
Typically when they run out of paint, that actually makes it a longer point too, unless somebody gets a kill. And there goes Zach Hill.
They trade.
Well, they trade out. Okay, so a trade on the D side as Zach Hill comes off for AC Dallas and LJ Parrish for the Ironmen. But Nick Sloviak playing the aggressor over here on the snake side. So he has a ton of bunkers to work with here. Got to be real careful on this wrap right now. Oh, puts in Matt Jackson, try to get a shot on John Jackson. So it's the Jackson brothers. So many times over the years, the last 2 players left alive, holding it down for AC.
That's what they do, man. They're the rocks. Usually have 1 rock on the team. They're fortunate enough to have 2 rocks on the team. They're always alive. They're always shooting their guns. They're always contributing, and they're always putting themselves. They don't always win the points, but they always put themselves in position to win the points. Where, whatever option they had, they take it.
Well, they're really intelligent players, so even in bad spots, they'll try to make the right move, the highest percentage move. And now they're just going to win a gunfight on Nick Sloviak, and then Matt Jackson makes a beautiful move to catch Peyton Tabata sleeping.
Yeah, I would like
Sorry,
to
John Jackson. John Jackson makes the nice move to catch Peyton. So John Jackson and Matt Jackson going to be one, just like we talked about, the Rocks for AC Dallas putting the first point on the board, and it was definitely a long one, about a 4-minute point.
Yeah, I would like to have seen Tabata, low on paint there. You might as well go down, get out to those Doritos, start taking the pressure off of Nick instead of having both those guys work against Nick. Here we go. Baltimore Revo coming on the field. Won the first point handily against Houston Heat.
In that last point, it's when you're in a 2-on-2, whoever loses the first gunfight, typically that team's going to lose the point.
For
so
sure.
It just came down to Nick losing that gunfight.
Well, and when we used to do 3-on-5, drills, they were really, really hard to begin with. It's a tough drill. But the second you lose the first guy for the 3,
for the 3.
And eventually for the 5, when you get good enough at it. But man, when you lose that first body in the 3, you're sick to your stomach. You're like, oh, we just lost this drill. Yeah. And if you're that guy, you just feel horrible, even if it's a drill. So you can imagine how much pressure you are under out here, losing that gunfight. At least try to trade, or at least don't get shot stupid. Looks like Chad George coming this way for Houston Heat, one of the best guys, followed up by Ryan Moorhead. Man, there's so much talent out here on the top teams that they're just so deep. Used to be,
it's better and better every year.
Each team would have like their Fedorov or their Oliver, and then that was their guy. And they had 2 or 3 guys around there that were close. Sam Monville taking the walk there for Houston Heat. Houston Heat also losing Ronnie Dizon on the Dorito side. But now these teams have 6 or 7 of these guys.
Yeah, so a tough start again here for Houston Heat. See if Revo can make the most of it as they are now sharking down the field, making some moves, getting to that brick, also moving up on the D side. So it looks like a 5-on-2 now.
Unless I'm missing a body, I think it's 5-on-2. I think Ryan just got clipped. Yeah, Ryan Moorhead just got shot. Mishka's the last Houston Heat player over there alive. He's pushing forward into the guns as Mishka would do, but too many Revo bodies, too many brown jerseys out there.
Yeah, off the break shots dialed in here for Revo. So, but this is, if you're a Houston Heat fan,
you're used to this.
I was going to say this has been what it's been like here for you.
It's called building the drama, Matt. I mean, they're trying to make a story here. There's got to be some catalyst. There's got to be some. If they just go out and smash everybody, there's no emotional roller coaster.
Yeah, as anyone that's watched any of their performances, that's Heat though. They like to play offense. They like to make it interesting and dramatic.
Dramatic, I like that. What was the word that you used yesterday?
Rich, we talked for like 10 hours.
I know,
but
the one I asked for the definition of. I only asked the definition of like 6 or 7, so that should narrow it down. You let me know if you remember, because last night I was like, I want to remember that word.
Let me get maybe another 3 ounces into my coffee, and maybe I'll remember after that.
In the booth, can I get someone less smart to work with, please? AC Dallas, 5 alive, 4 in the pocket, 1 up the center. Ironmen losing 2 over there on the Dorito side.
That penalty, I think, was thrown, so that demolishes that side, and here comes Ryan Hall. Ryan Hall, and there goes another body coming off the Sloviak. Ryan Hall doing what Ryan Hall's been doing this entire weekend as he runs through, gets the last 2 bodies, and then hits that buzzer for a quick point. Definitely got a little bit of a gift with that penalty, but you typically have to shoot a body in order for them to get a penalty. So again, the AC Dallas off the break shots dialed in.
You talk about a lot of underrated players. I think Ryan Hall's one of those underrated players. Obviously everybody knows he's good, but I think he's in that exceptional category, or certainly right there.
Ryan Hall, tough guy. Grew up playing football, really good at paintball at a young age. I have had some good talks with Ryan. Also a hardcore woods baller too. But he's a guy that when you came onto AC Dallas, we had the wall in the center, and he was a specialist. He was really good up there, started making a name for himself. When the wall got taken away, he's still obviously really good at paintball. So. But he was struggling to get spins consistently as a starter, and then they picked up BJ. So it's tough. It is Survivor Island on a professional paintball team. You're dealing with incredibly talented guys. So this is a really good story. To see him come out here and perform as well as he is, and playing multiple positions, and they needed him to step up. They don't have TJ Danner. So it's just, I think this is the best that I've ever seen Ryan Hall play. If he can keep this going, man, I mean, he's going to be a star.
I feel like he's already a star, but he can be even more of a star. Baltimore Revo, 5 alive, 1 getting checked over on the Drew side. Houston Heat losing their first player on the Drew side. Houston Heat down 1 body here, down 2 points. Plenty of time left in this match, but Houston Heat is going to have to survive the breakout, which they're not doing. They've been down bodies every point. Once they can figure out how to survive the breakout, they're going to need to learn how to push down this field. They haven't been in the snake yet. They've now lost their second player over. It looks like Chad George taking the walk. Chad Bouget taking the walk from the trio side for Houston Heat. So Houston Heat down 2 players here.
Now I know Houston Heat likes to get a slow start, but this is kind of at the moment when they start to pick it up here.
Yeah, usually they don't go down by more than 2, but obviously 5-on-3 against Baltimore Revo is tough. If Revo gets in the snake here, this game might, at this point, it's going to be academic, I think. Got 2 guys trying to stop him there. Chad George and somebody checking his goggles back there in the can.
And Chad George, I think, might have just got clipped. No, looks like he makes it in clean, and he's going to continue to crawl up here into the snake. But here goes Zupa. Zupa's going to get into the snake for Revo. Guest already up at the brick, and then here comes Frank pushing down on that D side. He's at the 40-yard line. Chad George does come off.
Zupa gets kills there. Very well played by Zupa. Just heard Chad's gun. Nice and relaxed. Came out. Caught Chad sleeping.
Revo's looking outstanding. One of the big reasons they're looking outstanding is they've played every single one of these points up bodies.
That, and they're not losing any points, which really helps.
Yes.
I mean, statistically, mathematically speaking. But yeah, I mean, they're on point, man. And I think it goes down to winning those breakouts, Matt. Every single breakout. Now they've had 3 points. They shot 1 out of the break, 1 point, and 2 out of the break, 2 of the other points. I mean,
that's what I was saying. They're playing up bodies right out the gate every single time. It's pretty easy to win. Even when you're playing against the world champs, when you're really good, and it's 5-on-4, 5-on-3.
Playing paintball at this level is very, very hard, very, very challenging. Playing this level down 20 or 10 to 20% of your team off the break every time is really challenging.
Yeah, I mean, it's 5 guys every kills 20%. So absolutely. And then you see there's Ryan Smith, and he got taken out. Just, trying to finish things out with, or trying to present some sort of offense out there. We've definitely seen a lot of low body craziness though. Guys winning
lots of comebacks.
Guys winning low percentage plays. So it's been a wild tournament as far as that's concerned. Tyler Harmon pulled off a 1-on-3.
Silo Cortez getting shot there, trying to go snake on the break. Oh, AC Dallas losing 2 and another one on penalty. So AC Dallas losing 3. Ironmen have a chance to get back in this match.
Peyton Tabata sees the bodies, comes off, and he gets in the snake. If he can bunker out BJ. Got to keep his gun up here. That was a mistake.
Yeah, sloppy. He did that earlier yesterday too, where he just crawled out into the gun. Yeah, got shot in the knee.
Threw his gun away, just threw his body away by not having his gun up in that situation. So BJ Henningberg now maybe could save this one, as there's no offense for the Ironmen on this snake side of the field, but they got Parrish going and Hall going on the D side. There goes another kill as Matt Jackson gets center punched on his chest, and so even though BJ doing what he can do over here and got that easy kill on Tabata.
Yeah, BJ gets caught. So Ironmen going to have a 2-1 game here, down by 1 point with almost 10 minutes left in the match. Good point there for the Ironmen. They survived/won the breakout, and then were able to move down the field. Tabata's got to get in the snake a little bit earlier and then play and produce a little bit more when he gets in there.
Well, Tabata's had some really good points this weekend, but in a situation like that, look, they won the point. So,
Matt, what has Tabata done for me lately? You know what I'm saying?
Well, he is a rookie, and as we well know, the mentality on Sunday, that's always a question with the rookies, is that are they going to be able to play? Yeah, are they going to get too nervous or start second guessing themselves?
Yeah.
I mean, I like the fact that he did get across, but
yeah, he's doing great. He just needs to tighten up once he gets in there.
Yeah.
Got some great points getting here. Just tighten up a little bit once you get here.
And again, it's a Sunday, so it'll be a little bit more critical because
I would not. I bet a lot of people that are, I don't gamble myself. But I bet a lot of people that do gamble are losing money right now that Houston Heat's down by 3 to Baltimore Revo here the first match of Sunday here at World Cup. Chad George breaking out snake side, gets there alive. So consistent. I think Chad's at like 110% for getting out alive. Both teams with 5 alive. This is getting Houston Heat their first time to play a heads-up match, as I say that.
Yeah, it's survivability. They finally get 5 bodies out alive and then lose a body out of that doubled-up can. So now it's a 4-on-5 situation. See all 5 players on your screen here for Revo going to crawl up into that snake with Zupa, but they lose a body now, and so Heat evening it back up.
Chad George again, that's their move, is when they're losing body, he gets out to that corner. He takes a bounce in the goggles going out there.
Another kill though, so Houston Heat now up a body. It's a 4-on-3 situation in favor of Heat. This is the one they need. Do not want to go down 4 a period ever, and there's a lot of time left, but they're just making it extra hard on yourself. Now they're in a high body situation. They have to win this point.
Matty, I think Revo has 4 and Houston Heat has 3. I see Dorito 2, Dorito Corner, and Dorito Temple for Houston Heat. And I see back tower, snake, and one in the Dorito, I think, for Revo.
I thought I saw another body come off for Revo.
You might have, and I might have missed it, Matty.
Maybe wrong.
We'll figure it out. Sorry, guys, we're doing our best.
No, there's definitely 2 bodies out on the D side for Heat. And yeah, it looks like just Chad George. They must have lost another body here. Well, they're talking it up nicely, but somebody's going to need to step up here on Houston Heat. Zupa is, I mean, they might as well just let Zupa start at the 50-yard line.
Might as well. And
there he is again.
And the problem here for Houston Heat, obviously, is Baltimore Revo can just shoot their guns and stay alive. Chad George has to figure out how to stay alive in this snake, get a kill, and then somehow go through and get Zupa out of that 50 snake. And Zupa's not going to make it easy for him. Chad George is in a small bunker there trying to gunfight down the tape. And honestly, it's one of those situations where you're looking for gunfights, right? You're down on bodies, you're looking for gunfights, and you can't find anybody. It's super frustrating.
Yeah, and if you're Revo, they don't have to go anywhere. I mean, winning this point and taking a lot of time off the clock, best case scenario for them. So I like the fact Zupa's been playing very aggressive for Revo on the snake side, and that's been working out great for him. But one of the things I like about what Zupa's doing is the decisions that he's making when he gets to that spot, after he's already there. So yeah, great job of getting up there. It's just the step one. What he's been doing in there that's even more impressive. So we'll see what he can do here, as he definitely has the ball.
So Matty, as a coach, mentor, your Houston Heat, you guys have been out there for 2 minutes now, or 3 minutes, in a 3-on-5 situation, down by 3 points.
When do you concede?
When do you have to concede? I mean, if I don't see Rodney Dizon get off his feet, get off his knees and get on his feet over there, I might concede this point now.
I think I'm going to give him a little more time, because I think you need a good 5 minutes to score 4 points. Now, we saw Houston Heat score 3 points in 1 minute and 20 seconds yesterday afternoon to defeat Thunder. So knowing that, and knowing that we've already done that here on this layout this weekend, I think I'd let this ride for another maybe 2 minutes before I'd even start thinking about that. But then it's going to come down to what does it look like my guys are doing? Are they trying to make something happen? They know Revo's just going to sit.
Another minute's clocked off since we've been talking about it, Matty. I know what Ryan Brand would do.
Yeah, Ryan Brand's the quickest in the league on the concession arm if he feels that his guys don't have the highest statistical chance.
Yeah, and I've learned from that. I would be faster on my buzzer watching the way his buzzer work is. Chad George down to no pain on his back, whatever he's got in his hopper. Down by 3 points here, 7 minutes left in this match, 5-on-3 position. It's going to take a big move or a big mistake out of one of these two teams if Houston Heat's going to win this point and get back in this match.
Yes.
And I think it would be a shock for everybody here, certainly for Houston Heat, if they went home Sunday in this first match.
So Chad George on an island out here on the snake side in the back spot, and it looks like he's out of paint too.
He's very low on paint. He's one ball in it for sure. Yeah. But he's got 2 guns on him. He's got the can on the snake side that's on him, and then Zupa keeps coming out on him, and the Dorito 1 is shooting across the field at him. Ronnie Dizon now finally checking in and going offensive on the Dorito side.
Yeah, it's got to be Ronnie, unless well, Chad could, but Ronnie needs to go. Ronnie has the ball.
Chad's on the island, right?
Well, yeah, Ronnie goes up first. Get those guys to start making make your presence known, so so the snake has to look at you. Zupa has to focus on you, or he's worried about getting shot. Then Chad can make the big move, bunker Zupa out, and then maybe catch that back center when he switches his gun around. He obviously has to worry about D1 as well, but that once he gets into the snake structure, he's blocked out from that shot for the most part until he gets around. Anyway, so that's what needs to happen. That's exactly what they're doing right now. Oh, but it looks like
we just talked for another minute and a half. Well, so 3 minutes now.
But Ronnie is making moves on the D side, but he loses Mishka behind him. But it looks like Ronnie is going to make that big run down that side. Did he get anybody?
No.
No, he didn't.
Even if he did, it would be a 1-on-4 or 1-on-5.
Things are looking really good for Baltimore Revo to get out of this wild card round and move on to play Dynasty. Houston Heat is just looking a bit puzzled off the break here.
I'm super glad nobody came to me with like really good odds this morning on the Houston Heat game. Hey man, I'll give you a Houston Heat with 3, and I'm like, okay. Okay, 10 grand, oh, I'm in.
Or even more so, like, hey, I think Revo's going to blow Houston Heat out. Mercy roll win, what do you think?
What's the over-under on that?
Yeah, a lot. Again, nothing against Revo, but we are talking about the 2-time and currently defending World Cup champions in Houston Heat.
Ironmen AC Dallas, 1-point game, 10 minutes left. A lot of these points are really coming down to the breakout, Matty. Whoever wins that breakout is winning a lot of these points. And it's funny, when I work with teams, that's what a lot of the teams spend the least amount of time on is their breakouts.
It's so huge.
BJ gunning up to that small temple and snake side. I love that. 5 alive for both teams.
And then repositioning with Hall for AC Dallas on the secondary. Going to get up into that break. He's up and over the top, looking towards that D side. Here comes BJ, goes to the snake from the inside, safe route there. And then he's going to crawl right to that 50-yard line. And he's going to be the first body to get there. And he's going to wrap around. They have no idea he's there. There's 1 for him. He might be getting 2 in a row. What a great job from BJ Henningberg. Oh, did he not? Oh, my God. He did. he had that guy dead to rights.
I've seen so many guys miss that shot, Matty. They're going out and waiting until they see the guy to shoot instead of just knowing where the spot is and coming out and putting the paint there. Oh, AC Dallas loses John Jackson on the backhand. Uncharacteristic depth for him. 4-on-5 advantage here for the Los Angeles Ironmen. BJ is in the 50 snake for the AC Dallas, and that does give them a positional advantage here. But he's got nothing to shoot at because the temple on his side and the can on his side are both dedicated Dorito way. I'm guessing the Ironmen have a center cube looking at BJ to keep BJ from going forward. So BJ's kind of stuck here. He can't look inside and can't go down the tape, and there's no targets. Oh, Nick Sloviak taking a walk for the Ironmen. 3-on-4 advantage, AC Dallas. AC Dallas with a complete field. They've got one in the Doritos, one in the 50 snake, one at the center, and Matt Jackson backing up the 3.
Oh, I think Matt Jackson might have just got clipped on his hand, and he did. So that's a great kill here for the Ironmen. That leaves BJ on an island now. Ryan Hall is going to put his gun around just in time to catch the attacking Silos Cortez. No penalty assessed, though. It's not looking good here for AC. It's just Ryan Hall. Nope. Looks like the Ironmen. Oh, they
2-on-2.
Okay, so yeah, he's blocked out from me. 2-on-2. But then Ryan Hall is going to get shot from that spot, trying to figure out what was in front of him. So now there's just one player left alive for AC into D1.
Yeah, 2-on-1 position here for the Ironmen. Have big advantage. Bottom moving down the snake now. Pressuring across the field. Looks like LJ's gonna. Oh, and they. Oh.
Zach Hill with the desperation attack. It almost works.
Didn't know LJ was there.
But LJ had his head up, had his gun up. And actually, I don't even think he caught a ball from Zach.
No, I think Zach thought he was 2 bunkers behind there and went to get him in the wrong spot.
Yeah, it's a great job from LJ Parrish and Silos Cortez. Silos Cortez is playing a real good tournament, man.
And Ironmen are right back in this match, 2-2. Good look here for the Ironmen. If they can survive the breakout, they have a chance to win this event.
So much closer game in that match, but right now, Houston Heat, it's do or die time. 5:54 on the clock. Again, they did score 3 points in 1 minute and 20 seconds against Seattle Thunder in order to take their 3rd win.
They're one of those few teams, kind of like the Russians, where the clock isn't the same for them as for everybody else.
Well, let's check in with Lauren Kelly.
Yeah, Houston Heat was not expecting Revo to get up for back-to-back points on them to start this match, but they said they have just under 6 minutes, plenty of time. They need to get quick points. They can't sit in their bunkers, but they have to also play as a unit. They are sending Ryan Moorhead in to play the 1 on the Dorito side to see if him and Ronnie can get something going. So we'll see if they can get a point here against Revo.
So on the breakout now, looks like a 5-on-5. Good break for both squads.
Oh, Revo loses their first player on that tall can in the back center. Oh, Houston Heat losing Ryan Moorhead over there as Ronnie Dizon attacks. 4-on-4 here. Ronnie Dizon attacking down the drill side of the field.
Ronnie Dizon might be able to get a shot cross field here on Zupa. Zupa's now going to be stuck in this Aztec and having to deal with Ronnie, who's past the 50-yard line, but they lose another body. Just Houston Heat. Survivability, they need to tighten things up. It looks like might have a penalty assessed here on Revo.
Painter, bad choice, Painter. When you get shot, when you're up by 4 points, you just get off the field, Bubba.
So that leaves
scratching his head about that.
Just Frank and Zupa.
Yeah, and it was just a 3-on-3. So I mean, 3-on-4 with their advantage. If he just walks off, it's still their advantage with a 3-on-3 or 3-on-2.
Let's see if Houston Heat can do anything with this gift. Chad George in the 50-yard line snake. Looks like here comes Smith in the center. Trying to find a way to get through this cross. Frank's looking in front of Zupa. Zupa's looking in front of Frank. And then there goes the kill from Chad George on Frank Antetomaso. And then Zupa's going to get tapped out. So Houston Heat going to get one on the board here with just under 5 minutes to play.
Yeah, Houston Heat having 3 guys left there. So it was a 4-on-3. Painter gets shot. Instead of walking out, leaving a 3-on-3, he pulls a buddy with him, and it ends up being a 2-on-3. Might not have known it was there, but.
So, Rich, we were talking about the crazy comeback that Houston Heat had. Let's get a look at that here as Houston Heat was down bodies and was, down points. Looking at not great, man. Thunder played an outstanding game, but with 1 minute and 20 seconds left, we're thinking, you know, we've seen Houston Heat have crazy comebacks before. They like to play fast. This is kind of their style of game, or definitely their style of game. And sure enough, they did it once, they did it twice. We're like, can they do it again? There was only, I think it was 34 seconds left, maybe even less than that. Before we thought, okay, we're just going to go to overtime period. Nope, Houston Heat stormed down the field and scored their 3rd quick point in a row. So,
that's awesome.
You know, not only have they done it in the past, but they just did it yesterday afternoon. So that's got to be fresh in their memories.
Yeah, it was like, "Do you see that comeback?" I was like, "Sorry, I was grabbing lunch. What happened?" Like, 3 points in 20 seconds. I'm like, that's impossible. Oh, Ironmen dropping their first body, going to the gut early, but they also shoot somebody. So 4-on-4 here, 2-2, a little over 7.5 minutes left.
Oh, it'd be such a huge story for the Ironmen if they could find a way to take out one of the favorites in AC Dallas, but
Ironmen
also
lose another body.
Vice versa. AC Dallas really wanted to get a win, man. They've been to the finals 4 times, have yet to get a big win here in the NXL.
Yeah, and I really thought this field would be conducive to their style of play. Oh, AC Dallas drawing a penalty now. Ryan Hall going up the middle, getting shot, not going out, so he draws the penalty now. 3-on-3 advantage to Ironman slightly because field position. Oh, and Nick Sloviak makes an amazing shot on Matt Jackson over the top, but then gets shot by somebody else. So it's a 2-on-2 now, I believe, Matty.
Yeah, John Jackson going to get out wide on the D side.
Oh, and he gets a kill.
Yeah, so
might just be 1-on-1, Matty.
I think
Dorito corner for AC Dallas.
For sure, and
Snake
then now
two.
Silos Cortez is here in the Snake. I think you might be right. I think it is another 1-on-1. We've seen so many 1-on-1s, and also don't forget Ultimate Shootout Monday Night Paintball going down this week. We're in Ultimate Shootout number 4.
Oh man!
Who is it? Is it?
I think it's John Jackson.
If it's okay, I was gonna say
you can't see because he's looking into the sun. You can see his hand over his visor, trying to find out where the body is.
I was gonna say if Silos Cortez, that's something he's got to read and try to. You got to use every advantage you have. But yeah, John Jackson's in a real tough spot in that back corner bunker.
Silos still got paint on his back, but he doesn't want to get in a situation where he's gunfighting John Jackson. What he wants to do is come up in a spot where John doesn't expect him to be and put some paint on where he knows John's going to be.
Especially because John is looking into the glare of the rising sun here.
Well, and you just don't want to fight someone that's, if you know a guy's known as a really, really good gunfighter and really, really good one-on-one guy, you don't want to put yourself in a position to gunfight him. You want to outsmart him, be where he doesn't expect you to be, and put a ball where he's going to be.
Silos Cortez is a first attacker. Typically, the first attackers, though some of them can be amazing at 1-on-1s, they don't normally end. They're normally dead by the time the 1-on-1 set
enders,
in.
they're starters
because they already ran through.
Yeah.
John Jackson, though, this is
bread and butter.
This is forte right here.
This is what I do.
Now, John Jackson has been in one-on-one already this weekend, which he lost, I believe, to Cam McCarty, AC Diesel.
There you go. I'd like to see CeeLo move himself closer to that buzzer there.
Still some time to work with.
Oh,
Silos Cortez gets the kill on him.
Oh, that could be a big emotional pump up for Ironman right there. CeeLo Cortez going out winning that 1-on-1.
And he stares down the AC Pitts and gives him the throat chop.
Good job, CeeLo Cortez. Big win there for the Ironmen. 5 minutes left in that match. 3-2 advantage, 1-point advantage there for the Ironmen.
I'll tell you what, I know that Todd Martinez woke up early to watch this game, and he's got to be having a big smile on his face. He had a lot of faith in Silos Cortez. I remember having a conversation with him. He's like, I really think that Silos deserves another chance of playing pro, and I think that he's got a lot of potential, and he just definitely earned his keep right there and gave the Ironman a 1-point lead, still some time left to go. Let's check in again with Lauren.
Thanks. Revo and Heat are both fighting to secure the offensive positions on this field layout first. Revo says they know that Heat has to come if they have any chance of staying in this game. Instead of playing defensively, they want to match them at their attack and go get those kills rather than sit back in the bunkers and try to waste time on the clock.
Yeah, that's what you got to do when you're down by 3 points with 4 minutes left. You can't sit in your bunkers and play paintball. You got to go forward and get somebody out the field, force the other team to make a mistake, force the other team to get a penalty. 5 alive for both teams here. Oh,
no, Houston Heat is going to be losing. Ryan Moorhead, though, trying to take some ground on the D side. And then now they're locked in the pocket, see if they can get out. 5 alive for Revo.
And that's the problem when you're down on a field like this and they catch your outside guys and you get stuck in the pocket. Now you've got to figure out how to get through that outside gap. And you can't make any mistakes because if you lose another body and put you in that 5-on-3 situation, you're probably not going to be able to win this point. Oh, looks like Sam might have got caught there. Referee's going for a check. Sam smart, not playing through it, letting the referee do his job. Looks like he's clean. Smart play there by Sam Monville. 5-on-4 advantage here for Baltimore Revo, up by 3 points against series champions Houston Heat. Less than 4 minutes left to go in this match.
Well, that was, sorry, Rich. Go ahead.
I was just going to say Houston Heat clock management time. I mean, they've got to score 3 points in 3 minutes, so they need, a point per minute as they lose Ryan Dizon pushing down the rear side.
Dizon coming up. It was huge that Monville didn't die in that spot, but now losing anyone at this point in time when you need 3, not a lot of time left, you need everything to go your way.
Well, based on what Lauren said, I don't like the posture of Houston Heat because they don't look like they're set up to attack. Even they had 5 guys alive and nobody was trying to make a move. Chad George was on his knees. Nobody was looking to make that move. Revo drops the body now. 4-on-2 advantage for Revo.
Revo runs through with O'Mara to take out Ryan, but pays the toll. And then we're going to see a concession here from Houston Heat as they were going to lose that point no matter what and just squander more of this precious time. 3:12 left to go, and again, another 4-point spread. So I hear Revo's pit right now yelling at him, hey, act like it's 0-0.
Yeah.
Come on, play every game.
We said the exact same thing, because last thing you want to do is go out there and play, hey, we've already won this match. Let's start thinking about the next match. Let's start thinking about winning that world championship, and all of a sudden you're down by 2.
Well, let's check it again with Lauren.
Thanks. Ironmen is up 1 point against AC Dallas, and they said they don't feel like they need to push the issue. They said if they get up bodies in this point, they need to make the Ironmen call and slow the game down, so we might see a longer point here.
Well, yeah, they have the lead, so
That's just logic.
Ideally, for the Ironmen, they would go out, shoot a body on the break, slow play, and get another point on the board and not leave that much time for AC Dallas to score 2. Now, for AC Dallas, whip those guns around, get a kill or 2, and make sure you put that tying point on the board with some smart aggression. However, Zach Hill coming off here for the Ironmen, or for AC Dallas, so nice off-the-break shots for the Los Angeles Ironmen and AC Dallas. Nobody out wide, everyone tucked in the pocket. They did take some ground in the center with Ryan Hall.
Yeah, BJ did get out to the Snake Temple, but he's the only guy outside of the pocket for AC Dallas. And there's no reason for the Ironmen to do anything other than just pump those lanes in front of BJ and not let him leave. Pump that gap on the outside of John Jackson, not let him leave. If BJ can't get out of that temple, John Jackson can't get out of that tower, it's going to force those guys to try to go up and over to the Snake. And there's 2 guys set up to get that guy. Oh, here goes the Ironmen losing their first guy and drawing a penalty out of it. He got shot on the break, didn't want to leave. Tabata there.
That's looks like they almost have got a shot on BJ. This is huge for AC, though. The BJ stayed alive. They're still putting a lot of pressure on him, but
yeah, it's that Dorito we talked about, buddy.
They had a 5-on-4 situation. That penalty kills them. Now it's a 3-on-4 in favor of AC. Now that AC just needs to get out wide.
Yeah, penalties will get you, man. John Jackson now gets outside to the temple. As you say it, man, he does it.
So nice move by John Jackson. Oh, but Matt Jackson loses a gunfight. He gets his eye dotted and he walks off, wiping his goggles off in frustration. Oh, and it looks like Ryan Hall also gets shot. BJ tries to get across, but
he gets there somehow.
Things were not looking good for the Ironmen, but now in a 2-on-3 situation, BJ's trying to roll the dice over here. Maybe catch somebody.
He almost caught that center brick when he went, Matty. BJ needs to just switch his gun outside, crawl, go forward, wrap, and put pressure on those guys. Don't sit over the top and gunfight those guys. Get to that outside brick in the Snake so you can wrap and they can't pressure you from across the field.
BJ Henningberg putting a ton of pressure on those
BJ.
2 players from the Ironman. He's going to move up to that 50 to get a better angle, wrap around, and might be able to get a shot here on this brick. But here comes the push on the D side. And then LJ Parrish is going to maybe have a lane as John Jackson gets Cyclops in that back corner bunker. So it's just BJ Henningberg here in a 3-on-1.
Yeah, tough spot for BJ. Really good position here for the Ironman.
Ooh,
They're going to win this point.
Oh, I was going to say BJ gets 1, and then he's going to get a minor penalty too.
Oh, BJ, bad decision there, buddy. It means AC Dallas will be starting probably 4 this next match because there's no one left to pull on the penalty. That would give the Ironman a 2-point advantage with 3:08 left, and AC Dallas already starting down a point, not being able to lose anybody on the break.
Absolutely massive gunfight wins, shooting Matt Jackson, one of the best players in the world, former Golden Barrel Award winner. We will be giving out a Golden Barrel today, so hopefully you got your picks in for Fan Wagon, a Lux Ice. Here, I have it literally sitting in front of me on this desk.
You've been fondling it all weekend.
It's a nice gun, really is. They do a good job over at DLX.
It's pretty.
But yeah, so huge kill on Matt Jackson, and then another huge kill on Ryan Hall. That really put BJ and John in a bad spot.
And honestly, the only thing that made that point close was the penalty on the Ironman, right? If that was a 5-on-3 and that guy walks down to 5-on-4, that point was probably much quicker than it was.
Yeah. Matt knew it though. Matt always knows the count. Well, I mean, his wits, he always has his wits about him. But he knew how frustrating of a death that was because he was shaking his head, just in frustration, quickly wiped his goggles off.
He'd caught a bounce. We both saw him catch that bounce right before that. So he was definitely wheeling and dealing, but that's what you got to do sometimes. We go Zupa and Omar over. Been doing a great job over here on the Snake side for Baltimore Revo.
Yeah, this is tough, man. This is what makes it hard. I don't care how good you are. Everyone gets shot out here. It's, like the best receivers are going to drop passes. The best quarterbacks are going to throw interceptions. The best golfers are going to shank shots occasionally, and the best gunfighters are going to lose gunfights. It's just, when does it happen?
You hope it all happens at practice. If it doesn't happen in practice, you hope it happens in the prelims. If it doesn't happen in the prelims, you hope it happens in the semis. You just hope it doesn't happen in the finals, if you're lucky enough to get there. Houston Heat, man, really got to be scratching their heads. I mean, they are one of the few teams here that could come back down by 4 points with 3 minutes.
Houston Heat losing bodies as well, but they're pushing the issue.
Yeah, that was sloppy for that Revo player in that center brick. He's got to assume that that snake is hot and play like that snake's hot. Houston Heat now lose the second player. Looks like Chad Bouget over there pushing on the drill side. So 3-on-3. Advantage to Houston Heat positionally. But obviously, score is a big part of this game.
Yes, it is.
Zupa's just shooting his gun across the field, trying to slow down the drill side of the field.
Ryan Smith trying to create over there on the D side after the death of Chad Boucher. Chad George is still alive, but the options are dwindling right now for Houston Heat. They only have 2 minutes and they need 4 points. They scored 3 in 1:20 yesterday, but this is it. If they don't get this point, this game's over.
Yeah, Sam Monville feeling back across because there's just 2 Houston Heat players left and they're both on Snake side. Sam's feeling back over, slow down the Drudo side.
Yeah, they need to get this point and they need to get it as quick as they possibly can. Revo is just going to try to tick every precious second off this clock. And then Chad George is going to come in. Does he stay alive? No, he's got to trade.
Yeah, tough. Chad had to stay alive there for them to win this point. Now it's a 2-on-1. Just Sam Monville over there pushing down the Drudo side of the field. There's 2 guns. Obviously, that's a tough position to be in, but when you're down by 4 points with 1:29 left, that's exactly what you have to do. Man, Baltimore Revo is looking really, really good here, Matty.
If you beat the 2-time defending world champs this badly, you are a big favorite right now.
Yeah, they could conceivably go out and win another point and skunk them.
I know we can make an argument for pretty much every team that's in today as far as winning this tournament, but my God, I mean, Houston Heat had come from behind victories. They looked really good doing it in the prelims, went 3-1. Revo also looked outstanding in the prelims, but it all comes down to Sunday, and Revo just looks relatively flawless right now.
Yeah, and they were able to shift gears, go offense those first few points, get up, and then shift gears, go defense the last few points, and still get up. So they're playing both aspects of the game very well. So AC Dallas is definitely struggling here, man, scratching their heads like, hey, man, what's going on? We should be beating these guys. Ironmen are winning the breakouts, winning the snake battle, and then LJ Parrish has been playing really well over on that drill side of the field. Nick Sloviak there, looking to get that kill in the break cross field. See if he gets his guy. Nope. AC Dallas runs and shoots the corner. AC Dallas in the snake first. Ironman lose Nick Sloviak. Silo Cortez fills out the snake corner. Gets out there live. Nope, gets caught right at the last second. So 3-on-5 advantage here for AC Dallas. They have the positions and the bodies.
BJ, he's in a good spot to try to score a quick one. Here goes, he needs some help. Matt Jackson coming up, and also Zach Hill blast Peyton Tabata in the back of the head, and that's going to allow Matt Jackson in the center. Zach's going to release and try to find these last couple bodies to put another point on the board here. What a beautifully executed point. Oh, but Zach Hill does not know that that last body was in that back corner bunker. Matt Jackson punishes him, and then he's going to hit that buzzer. So we got ourselves a 1-point match, and still, this is AC Dallas can win this one easily. 2:23 left on the clock. That they don't have to. They can come out with a standard game plan. Don't need to rush anything. Yeah. But that point was massive for AC Dallas. Ironmen go up by 3 with a couple minutes left. Totally different story. Now it's a 1-point spread.
Who'd have thunk it?
Now the question is Baltimore Revo going to mercy roll Houston Heat? That's really the only thing we're playing this minute.
It would be hard to imagine.
For. Not that point spread means anything on Sunday, but so there's still the pretty much same starting line. No Dizon out there, but it's going to be Moorhead and Boucher on the D side, Chad George, Ryan Smith, and then Sam Monville.
Chad George needs to clock in right here. Get to that 50 snake, and that's what he's doing. Go snake on the break. He's crawling forward. Houston Heat's not sitting back anymore in those back bunkers. They're going forward, trying to win this game. Unfortunately, they've already dropped 3-point bodies here.
Well, Chad George is at the 50. There goes Zupa. There goes Amara.
Yeah, Chad's getting a couple kills. I just feel like Houston should have been playing like this from point number 2 or point number 3, not wait until it's point number 7. Chad George is up there wheeling and dealing, but it's just going to be too little too late. You know, Houston Heat might come back and win this point, but they'll still be down by 5 with less than a minute left.
I mean, I think Houston Heat was trying in those early points. They were losing too many bodies early. They'd lose a body on the break or 2, or lose a quick guy out of a gunfight, and Revo wasn't doing that. Revo was just winning that first initial part of every single point, and even if they lost by then, they'd immediately win a gunfight real quick. So just everything was going Revo's way here.
Yeah, it was kind of a textbook pocket play matchup where they were just executing the pocket play better. They were getting outside as they were shooting their outside guys, and that just gives you a huge advantage when you're playing pocket.
So it looks like with just 17 seconds left, let's see if they're going to let the time run out or if they are going to put up that mercy roll point.
Yeah, early favorites going home.
Like guess is like, yeah, we want that mercy roll point.
Yeah, Houston Heat is one of the top 3 teams that when I asked people who they thought, who they thought might win this event was, they were almost in everybody's top 3. Very big surprise for them to go home this early on Sunday.
Yeah, our first upset of the day. We may see more to come, but I think if the Ironmen beat AC Dallas, that's also an upset. Even though Ironmen did win the first event, they're missing more of their core guys from that event, including their coach, Todd Martinez, and their leader.
Well, yeah.
So AC Dallas is personnel-wise only missing TJ Danner. And also another crazy thing, I know we mentioned it first couple days, but I haven't said it yet today. Ryan Hall is playing this well this weekend with that mangled finger that he has to have surgery.
Yeah, they did cut his finger off. Pretty traumatic. Yeah, AC Dallas has obviously had more success for, like, Ironman won the last tournament, but AC Dallas had more success for the last couple seasons. So that gives AC a kind of an advantage here, although they are down 1 point. Ironman need to survive the breakout and contain BJ over here in the snake.
So the Ironmen with this 1-point lead with 2:19, they win this one. Probably going to win this game. BJ Henneberg again in such a good spot here. Nobody knows he's there, so he's going to get potentially a free kill if he wraps around and gets that and clips out Sloviak's pack.
Yeah, because we can see Nick's pack from here. That means BJ can definitely see it. AC Dallas does lose 1 player early. 4-on-5 advantage here for the Ironmen, but AC Dallas is in that key bunker in the snake, wrapping and putting pressure on Nick Sloviak. Oh, BJ gets caught.
But he trades out. So actually Silos runs out to get BJ off that. Oh, but a tough death for Corey Hall. Not the best time for Corey Hall to die right here, trying to maintain this lead, and that should make it a 3-on-3.
AC Dallas with 2 attackers on the Dorito side going forward. Matt Jackson over here on the snake side just locking it down. Maybe that's John Jackson.
Yeah, Matt Jackson was the one that took the early walk.
That's right.
Yeah, Hall's in the back corner bunker, helping out Zach Hill, who is in a really good spot in D3.
Yeah, and that Ironman player there, oh, Nick Sloviak get caught. Man, this is going to go to a 4-on-4. This is going to be an overtime match.
Yeah, John Jackson has this whole snake side now, but he might have got clipped cross field. They're begging for it. Nope, not going to get it. John Jackson looking like he could just move. I mean, he has enough time. 1 minute and 3 seconds left. He's just got to get up the field a little bit, get those better angles, maybe get a little help from Hill once everyone starts looking at John.
Yeah, the Ironmen in a tough position with Nick Sloviak dying there.
Hill's looking for the run through, going to come through and run at the perfect time and get the shot in on the. Oh, this is just a beautiful point from John Jackson and Zach Hill.
Yeah, bad death there for Nick, unfortunately. Well, 4-4 with 42 seconds left. This is about as good as match as you can ask for Sunday morning, Matty.
Absolutely. Well, look, bad death for Corey Hall, bad death for Nick. They were up bodies.
Up points.
Yeah, the run out, I think, was from Silos to get at BJ. That was huge.
Yep.
But Silos died taking BJ with him, and BJ was in the most important spot on the field, which is the 50-yard line on the snake. They shot Matt early, so just a little, that's the difference. A couple deaths there and some great play and a nice finish, a quick finish from John Jackson, and a beautiful run through there to get the brick from Zach Hill. And he went the correct route, too, so
that was executed very, very well.
Yeah, so now we'll have 2 minutes in between these points. It's all tied up at 4:42 seconds left to go. And
you know who's flipping out right now? My friend Todd Martinez.
Probably.
Hi, Todd. Hi, Chris. Miss you guys.
Yeah, miss you guys. Wish you could be here. But man, AC Dallas, they have the momentum right now. They have the momentum.
Yeah, and that was kind of my question going out for those last 2 points, being down by 2. I was like, have they kind of given up, or do they think they can still win this? Are they going to go out and play like they want to win, or are they just going to play not to lose?
Some teams do that. You see them get mentally defeated. AC's not that type of team. They always seem to be very mentally scrappy, and they stay focused even when they're down. Unless it's like an insane blowout, but that rarely happens to them these days. So AC Dallas here. See if next 47 seconds, 42 seconds left in the game clock, about 44 seconds before the start of what could be the last point. So when you have 42 seconds left, that's the question as a coach. Do we go out and do we have an aggressive game plan to try to steal the win? Typically, that's what top teams do. Or do you try to just burn the clock off and go to overtime so you have a whole 5 minutes to work with? A lot of times it does come down to the break. You have a break, and if you do shoot a body or two, then you launch and you can score that quick. If it ends up being 5-on-5, yeah, we're probably going to see an overtime period.
I think that's everybody's read. I mean, that's my read going out. Like, hey, if we shoot a side out, we go. If we don't shoot a side out, we don't go. If we lose a side, we got to go. Ironmen, Nick Sloviak, Tabata.
Good break from BJ. And here comes the attack. So it looks like the Ironmen are going for it. They send Tabata up to the 50-yard line. They shoot Matt Jackson again. So it's a 4-on-5, but they're going to lose Silos Cortez.
DJ's going to get shot right here.
Yeah, let's see if, oh, he doesn't see him. Oh, then he does. So Silos Cortez, or Peyton Tabata could be getting this one. He gets one, he gets two. He might be able to get it in time, but he does get shot cross field.
20 seconds left, Matty.
Oh, Nick Sloviak might have got caught as he dove in. Yeah, if Peyton had stayed alive. But hey, man, he already got his 2 bodies, so he did his job. I think we're going to see an overtime period.
If Nick could have just crawled down that snake instead of gunfighting across the field, he would have won this point.
Yeah, no, he couldn't have crawled down in time. He had to win it from his feet. There's
20 seconds left when he went in there.
Well, right. I still think he had to do it from his feet. It would have taken him 10 seconds just to get to the 50. Wow. So Peyton Tabata made it interesting here, and the Ironman with that off the break shot. Silos did walk off, so that was a nice shot from AC. But then Peyton Tabata, the young rookie, gets into the 50 snake, gets 1, gets 2. But then he gets shot trying to run through, and Nick just didn't really have enough time. I understand why he was going to find it for his feet. I see what you're saying, Rich. That would be the more textbook play, but I don't think he had enough time to actually hit the deck and crawl up and still have enough time to shoot the last 2 guys and hit the buzzer.
Had he been closer to Tabata when Tabata went through, I don't think that would have been an issue, but I think if he'd gone on his feet, it would have been closer. Giving him a better chance at least. Agree to disagree. Agree to disagree.
So 2 minutes before, well, minute 19 left now before we jump into this 5-minute overtime period. And if we can't get a winner after 5 minutes, which I doubt we'll get through 5, but we haven't seen a 5-minute long point yet this entire tournament.
Yeah, I don't think we have.
Then we will go to one-on-ones.
Yeah, the momentum's been kind of back and forth in this match. Not sure who's got it now, but
yeah,
this should be a really good first point.
Well, this set has been brought to you by Carbon Paintball and their new 2021 team program. You have a lot of the companies want you head to toe. Not so with Carbon Paintball. Also, really high-level products they're putting out, coming out with their new custom SC jerseys. It's mix and match, so you as the team and your squad can kind of choose what products from Carbon you would like to participate in the team program. So hit them up, carbonpaintball.com. Shout out to Turbin and Walker. So, man, this is a tough one to call. I mean, Tabata was so close to winning that one almost single-handedly. And if you guys are joining us on Facebook, you're watching this the end of this wild card round early in the morning over here in Kissimmee, Florida. Please head on over to GoSports to watch the rest of these crazy battles that are going to go down here at the 2020 World Cup and fascinating stories. AC Diesel, I mean, arguably looked the best of all the teams other than Tampa Bay Damage, and sure enough, they're playing each other in the quarterfinals.
Thank you, Matt.
And then X Factor and the Russians also in this next set, and that's a pick 'em too.
Thank you again,
yeah,
Matt.
it's the paintball gods have definitely given us some interesting matchups here. You know, obviously Tampa Bay Damage just playing as lights out, getting contributions from every single one of their starting members. AC Diesel too. It would be a crazy Cinderella story if AC Diesel could win their second pro event ever. But Tampa Bay Damage is playing for something that you can't quite put into words, and that's for the memory and the honor of our good friend and paintball patron Tim Montresor, who passed away tragically earlier this year. So both those teams are fighting for a lot, and that's going to be going down next. Again, also with X Factor, our series champs from 2019, and the Russians.
Lots of good paintball today here at GoSports.com. Check us out, man. We appreciate your support. Yeah, I was going to say, AC Diesel winning this event would almost be as exciting as the Ironman winning Vegas. Ironman had been struggling for a long time up to that point.
Yeah, they hadn't had a win in 10 years.
Yeah, came up, stepped up, and then Diesel, this event looks amazing.
Yeah, and if Diesel could pull off a win here, just think of the confidence that should give every paintball team in the world, because if you can overtime, work hard, build up a program.
Do it the right way.
Do it the right way. And, you know, they didn't have an offseason really down there as they've been grinding, and they looked phenomenal in the prelims. But can they bring that same game to Sunday and against arguably the other team that looked the best in the prelims, Tampa Bay Damage?
They sure don't have the experience or the depth maybe of Damage, but they've got a lot of spunk. So we'll see how they do. Good look there from John Jackson, breaking down some fine details. Ryan Hall. Listen, Ryan, I need you to shoot like 4 or 5 guys this game and don't get a penalty. Cool? All right, thanks, man.
Big moment. Big moment right here. Somebody's going to move on, and somebody's going to be packing their bags and getting ready for the flights. So Ironmen aggressively push up, and they also shoot a body, and they shoot Zach Hill. So here comes Silos Cortez up in this, or no, Tabata. It's Tabata in the center of the field, and Tabata, a couple more kills coming off here for the Ironmen, and AC Dallas trapped in those back spots right now. And it's a 5-on-2 looking.
Oh, Tabata gets caught.
That's a tough death. You cannot die in the overtime period when it's
Ever.
a 5-on-2 and you're in the best spot in the field.
Yeah, I would say, yes, don't die, but I would also say to the other 4 Ironmen that were watching Tabata play a 2-on-1, hey, guys, don't be afraid to get in this game.
That's just a rookie mistake right there from Tabata.
Yeah, it's literally 4-on-2. Both of those guys are trapped in the pocket, and there's 4 Ironmen hiding in the back, locking down lanes. It's not time to lock down lanes once you shoot 3 guys. Once you shoot 3 guys, you got 5 guys on your team, you start moving forward and applying more pressure to the 2 guys that are stuck in the center cans that can't go anywhere.
Yeah, if the Ironmen end up losing this point in a 5-on-2 with the 2 stuck in the back center, that is going to be a long, some terrible thoughts in a long offseason.
I was talking to somebody the other day about, remember when we would go and play a tournament and win, and the flight home, you know, nothing hurts on the flight home. You bounce, you have to go to work early the next day. Everything's great. You're singing. The event was amazing. I had so much fun. I have so much energy. And you lose that event, and it's a completely different feeling. Every joint in your body hurts. The flight home takes 700 hours. You don't go to work the next day because it's just a whole different vibe.
Well, Silos Cortez has made his way into the 50-yard line here on the snake side. Nick Sloviak's at the brick in the center. It's all going to come down to this next kill. Are we missing a body? Okay, are we missing a body? No, we're not. So the Ironmen need to get things going here on the D side.
Yeah, there's nothing going on defense. They're playing defense still, Matty. They're on their knees, locking down the lanes over there instead of attacking.
They're going one at a time. You know, Peyton was trying to do it by himself. Now, I'm not saying Silos is trying to do it by himself, but he's over here and he's getting a lot of pressure. There's only 2 players left alive. Parrish and Corey Hall need to find a way
to
make smart moves up there. And it also looks like Jackson's gun's down. Yeah, John Jackson's gun is in between his legs, so they're essentially playing a 4-on-1 right now.
Yeah, and this is just not good field awareness from the Ironmen. They had no pressure over there. Nobody was even shooting their gun at them.
They've solved it though, as they now are at the 40-yard line and at the 50-yard line. There go the 2 kills real quick. So it looks like the Ironmen are going to be advancing. There was a little bit of a nail biter here that didn't need to be for a second, but after they ended up finishing it with 4 bodies alive.
Good on you, Ironmen. Made it look a little bit harder than it needed to be, but congratulations moving on Sunday. AC Dallas, great event so far. Looked good this season.
Wow. Well, so that's 2 upsets.
Yeah,
because on paper, right? Revo should lose to Heat. And on paper, AC Dallas should be beating the Ironmen. Those are the more experienced teams that have been deeper more often. So, yeah, a little recap here of the wild card round in case you just tuned in. Baltimore Revo absolutely slaughtering our defending champs in Houston Heat, as it was a mercy rule win. 7-1 was that score, so Heat will be going home. Dynasty is going to be playing Revo, and then Impact will be playing the Los Angeles Ironmen. So interesting matches, both of those. Dynasty and Revo, I think on paper you got to give that one to Dynasty. It's their 20th anniversary. They're playing outstanding, undefeated in the prelims. And then on paper you got to give it to Edmonton Impact, even though they are missing all the Canadians and no Justin Rabikoff. So can the Ironmen upset Impact? Can Revo upset Dynasty? We will see. First, AC Diesel and Damage, X Factor and Russians. Let's check in with Lauren before we head to a short break.
Hey guys, I am here with Henry Sens. Henry, congratulations. Revo is looking so strong this weekend. You and I were kind of talking before we did the interview. There's something magical happening with Revo right now. You're missing 3 of your top players who play usually every point, and you were kind of the underdog going into that Heat match, just statistically speaking, and you smashed them. What do you think is happening right now with the team that is helping get this much production out of you?
Like you said, with missing 3 of our, stars, other guys are now in a situation where they're forced to step up, and people are just, checking in. We got Stevens out there killing it, Zupa's crushing it, new guy, Tom, Frank, the 5-6 guys we're playing are all we're just gelling, we're clicking, we're playing well, and everyone's executing what we need to do. If one of our guys starts sucking, it's pretty much over, so it's do or die at this point for us.
Well, knock on wood, don't jinx yourselves.
No,
Just keep doing what you're doing. And you had told me this, it's kind of an interesting story because you'll be playing Dynasty next, and then because Ironmen just won, you could be playing them in the semis, which is the same road you took in Vegas.
Yep.
And you did end up beating Dynasty, but two really good teams, it's kind of a toss-up. So what are some things, how do you think you adjust your game going from Heat to Dynasty? Is there anything you change up or you stick to your game plan?
Until someone takes us out of our game, we're not going to change to who we play. Nobody's been able to stop what we've done for the most part, so if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And we spent a lot of time studying Dynasty and Heat last night, and we know what they're going to do, and we feel comfortable that what we know we're doing is going to beat them.
How would you sum up your game? What's your mentality going into these matches?
Shoot more people on the break than they shoot us. So.
Well, it's working. Good job. Congratulations to Revo and Ironmen for taking those wins. Super impressive matches so far this morning. Stay tuned for more coming up.
Thank you.
For over a quarter of a century, the best paintball teams in the world have gathered in Orlando, Florida at the end of the year to answer a simple question through a hard test. Who is the best on the biggest stage at the last event of the season? Over the years, the World Cup has been the scene of gunfight magic, a place of battle where skills earned through hard work, applied in the biggest of moments, has forged talented names into legend. But this year, the COVID pandemic has deferred dreams, stopped stories, and the entire sport at its highest level was put on hold. With only one NXL event in the books, the middle of the season became the longest offseason that we have ever had. But the brakes are now off. World Cup 2020 is just on the horizon, and the 4-day battle to see who is the world's best paintball team is almost here. Who will emerge as the champion? November 12th through the 15th. Tune into GoSports.com to watch the story unfold and see which team will be crowned.
Best team in the world. Now let's take the fucking damn ball.
Focusing on action sports, GoSports is a subscription-based online service where you can watch live broadcasts in addition to documentary content for only $9.99 a month. GoSports captures the intense moments found only during the battle on the field, in the cage, and on the mat, and broadcasts them into the world where they can live magnified. Merging cutting-edge multimedia technology with a focus on narrative storytelling, GoSports.com brings you into the world and lives of the competitors as they chase their defining moments. So sign up now and go watch all these magnified moments on GoSports.com.